Like, what are, seeing these profiles of these people and these huge monstrosities, they're smelly and loud, and not the people, the trend. And, just talking, we probably went out and had a beer or something. We were just like, what is up with these people, and like these stereotypes, and this whole concept of identity through your work and what you do, and just all these questions floating around. So yeah, we just took our cheap used camera and started going to truck stops. Our moms were really happy about it.
Yeah, I mean, these people are very lonely. So we actually found that they were really open to speak to us about their lives and about their families and histories and everything. They spend a lot of time, sometimes up to 2 months alone, in a very small compartmental space. So yeah, they were really into talking to us. It was actually really surprising and really cool. I think we got some of the most honest interviews we did because we were so honest with them too. And we realized that we had to share a lot about ourselves. It was kind of like we went into it like therapists, where it's like, this is about you, tell us about yourself. And then we really realized that it was really important just to have conversations and to be able to relate. So that was kind of the most positive aspect of my relationship with these people as a documentary filmmaker, was just to be open and honest about yourself, and people really open up to you a lot.
I didn't really have too much of an opinion about truck drivers. That's why we really wanted to make the movie. I always just kind of, either it was like this 70s Easy Rider, sleek that truck driver that was in Thelma and Louise, sleazy, or just totally invisible. So I think that was a big reason for making the film, was to find out. It was totally about our own experience. I think I don't know. I think just like anything, there was really shocking, upsetting stuff, and there was people that are sweeter than as sweet as my grandma, and there was total pervs, and there's
You said that we started out our film somewhat vulgarly, and the first cut of our film wasn't like that at all. We very much catered to the kind demeanor of truck drivers, and that because that's what we saw when we went and interviewed them. They were very open and very responsive, and it actually, for me, I don't know about Jessie, but for me, it took about a year, and then we kind of approached this in a completely different way. When we had been traveling from truck stop to truck stop via our own vehicle, and then we decided to get into the truck and go. So that was a very different approach, and we stayed there and we waited till evening time to go. So we saw a very different side, and we've been doing this for about a year, and I guess I felt really naive because about a year and a half into it, all of a sudden we started dealing with a lot of the vulgar stuff and a lot of the crazy stuff, and I think that's why we decided to put it at the beginning of the film, because it's something you almost want to get out of the way because it's obvious, and once you sort of get past that and delve into it a little bit more, you realize that these are very typically very humane people, and they are the veins of our society, and especially in this economic crisis that we're going through, they're very important people in keeping our economy going, and we don't really see them as human. We see them as sort of facilitators of our goods and of everything else, and we really wanted to hone in on the human aspect of it. So we wanted to kind of get that stuff, the negative stuff, it catches you, right? So it's very good for film, but we wanted to get it out of the way also.
Just about feeling, these lives people feel really stuck, and you get really frustrated, I feel when you're watching the film, because it's just this whole issue of, you know, they're making money, but they just don't have any time. They don't have a life. And it's like what you're willing to give up. And what the older gentleman was talking about, you know, after a certain age, your mind starts to really go away. And so, you know, you have like this many options, and then you choose this path, and this gets you stuck in this. And I don't know, it's just really frustrating because a lot of these people they don't want to be doing this, you know, they really don't. You can see it in their faces, and it's just kind of sad, you know. It was really sad, you know.
And I think in a strange way, even though like many of us may be following very different paths, it kind of speaks to everybody because it's like sort of the same habituality that we all sort of go through. And even though it's trucking, and that's something we seem very distant from, it's actually something we can all really relate to. Because really, you know, they don't just get stuck in it because that's like their, you know, God's given purpose. It's just because, you know, they go on the road and they live this life, and, you know, for what us may be a fast-paced life, it is also for them, and they have to meet deadlines, and they have to do these things that everybody kind of connects with.
Balancing, you know, the
You know,
work life,
they have to
they're
juggle
trying to have a family.
They juggle their family. I mean, many of their wives or husbands have had affairs because they can't be there all the time, or they're not, and they just happen to come in at the appropriate or inappropriate time. And I honestly think it's something as sad as it is that we can all like identify with, you know, trying to juggle everything, trying to be on this like sort of curriculum.
And trying to provide.
And trying to provide, like, I mean, that was the most honest man, Jessie and I always say this, that we spoke with, because this is during our very first few weeks there where he said that I'm the only person that's going to tell you this, is that I feel like I'm being used. What? You know? And it was shocking to us because he was really just providing for somebody else. He never really got to know his family or his wife because he was gone all the time. So we see these people as very blue collar, very family men, and everything like this, but we can all sort of identify on the same